The 4 Ps. To master your life, you must first master the map of your own mind. Most people wander through their emotional landscapes without a compass, wondering why they react the way they do, or why they keep hitting the same walls. In clinical psychology, we use a framework called the 4 Ps to build this map: predisposition, precipitation, perpetuation, and protection. These 4 elements explain where you came from, what triggered your current state, why you are staying there, and how you can get out. Let's start with predisposition. This is your set point. It includes your genetics, your early childhood experiences, and your biological makeup. You did not choose your predisposition, but you are responsible for managing it. Think of it as the soil in which your life is planted. Some soil is rich and resilient, some is rocky and prone to drought. If you have a family history of anxiety, that is a predisposition. If you experienced early childhood trauma, that is a predisposition. Understanding this isn't about finding excuses, it's about finding the baseline of your machine so you can optimize it. Next is precipitation. These are the triggers. A precipitation event is the specific moment or series of moments that pushed you from a state of managing to a state of struggling. It could be a breakup, a job loss, a global pandemic, or even a positive change like a promotion that brought unexpected stress. If predisposition is the dry forest, precipitation is the lightning strike that starts the fire. You must identify your precipitants to understand that your current mental state didn't happen in a vacuum. It was a reaction to a specific force. The 3rd P is perpetuation. This is the most dangerous one. Perpetuating factors are the things that keep the problem going. This is where your daily habits and your environment, like the 5 Cs we discussed earlier, come into play. If you are struggling with depression, but you are isolating yourself, eating poorly, and staying in a toxic relationship, those are perpetuating factors. They are the fuel that keeps the fire burning. To move from a reactive dreamer to a proactive executor, you must identify and systematically eliminate these factors. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. Finally, we have protection. These are your strengths. Protective factors are the reasons you haven't completely fallen apart. They are your resilience, your intelligence, your supportive friends, your physical health, or your financial stability. Protection is the firebreak. It is the system you build to ensure that even when lightning strikes, the forest doesn't burn to the ground. Mental health isn't just about removing the negative, it's about aggressively fortifying the positive. Why must these be present in your relationships for healthy mental health? Because a healthy relationship acts as a massive protective factor. Conversely, a toxic relationship is a primary perpetuating factor. When you share the 4 Ps with a partner, you are giving them the manual to your soul. You are saying, "This is my predisposition. These are the things that precipitate my stress. These are the habits that perpetuate my pain. And this is how you can help protect me." This level of transparency is the only way to build a high-performance bond. How do you find out if these exist in your relationships? You audit the influence the other person has on your Ps. Does your partner help you manage your predispositions, or do they exploit them? When a precipitating event happens, are they a source of calmness, one of the 5 Cs, or do they add to the chaos? Do they help you break perpetuating habits, or do they enable them? And most importantly, are they a protective force in your life? If your relationship isn't a protective factor, it is by definition a liability to your mental health. What do you do if they are not present? You must apply the machine-like grind to your social circle. You cannot afford to have people in your life who serve as perpetuating factors for your misery. If a relationship is consistently precipitating stress and offering no protection, it must be restructured or removed. This is the discipline of the executor. You protect your mental energy because it is the only currency that matters for your success. The 4 Ps work together because they tell a complete story. Predisposition tells you the why, precipitation tells you the when, perpetuation tells you the why still, and protection tells you the how forward. When you combine this with the 5 Cs, you create a holistic system for human flourishing. You move from feeling your way through life to engineering your way through life. Let's look at a case study. Michael. Michael was a CEO who was burning out. His predisposition was a high-strung, perfectionist nature inherited from a demanding father. The precipitation was a market crash that threatened his company. The perpetuation was his habit of working 18-hour days and drinking to sleep. His protection was his physical fitness and a very supportive spouse who provided care and compassion, the 5 C's. To save Michael, we had to address the perpetuation. We replaced the 18-hour days with a disciplined 12-hour block and used his protection, his wife, to create a calmness zone at home. By understanding his 4 Ps, Michael stopped blaming himself for the feeling of burnout and started treating it like a system error that could be fixed. Another idea is the 4P inventory. Write down your 4 Ps today. Be clinical. Be honest. Look at your perpetuating factors. Are you scrolling late at night? Are you avoiding hard conversations? Are you relying on motivation instead of systems? These are the leaks in your machine. Once you identify them, use your protective factors to plug them. If you have high intelligence, protection, use it to research better coping mechanisms. If you have a loyal friend, protection, use them as an accountability partner to stop a perpetuating habit. Your mental health is a complex machine. The 4 Ps are the diagnostic tool, and the 5 Cs are the maintenance kit. By mastering both, you ensure that your mind remains a high-performance engine capable of reaching any goal you set. You transition from being a victim of your history to being the architect of your future. It requires the art of the machine-like grind, the daily disciplined application of these truths. Start today. Audit your Ps, build your Cs, dominate your life.